Yo, 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 it's your boy Willie Waze, aka the voice of VA, and you were watching LUMI Lifestyle, man. What do you get when you put a DJ Premier and a Royce the 5'9" in 2018? The answer is PRhyme 2. And god damn it, everybody been inboxing me, man. Like, yo, what do you think about it? Is it dope? Should I listen to it? Is it better than the first one? Is it better than the first one? Well, you know what, motherfuckers? I'm finna let you know. Let's knock it out. First, you know I had to check out the beats, man. The beats were done by DJ Premier. As you know, that's the whole PRhyme dynamic. But I had to listen to the beats first. Every beat, I wanted to make sure I heard that shit, man. Because I love Primo. He the GOAT to me, you feel me? It's a legend, bruh. Anytime a legend is still active, you gotta appreciate it, man. So, hey, man, I was all ears. To be real with y'all, man, the beats kind of sounded weird to me at first. I'd say that this is Primo's most experimental production yet. On one hand, I feel like it's dope to see Primo breathing new life into his production style. I feel like this is the most commercially viable production of his career. Then on the other hand, some of the samples and beat choices just didn't hit the mark for me. In my opinion, Royce never really was the dopest Primo beat selector, and you know what I'm saying, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had some dope shit on Rock City, Friend, and all of that, and then, not to mention, he also had to join hip-hop on Death is Certain. That's probably my favorite Primo and Royce collab, you know what I'm saying? But to me, he never really got Primo's cream of the crop, or he never chose Primo's cream of the crop. Maybe he just got a certain production style that he liked to have with Primo. You know, that's his thing. But it's never been the most impressive to me. However, on this album, when the beats and the samples do hit their mark, this shit is pure magic, bruh. There's definitely some raw boom bap hardcore shit, you know what I mean? But then they also got some tracks that you could ride to. Although I can say some of the laid back tracks can border on the edge of boring. I'm gonna be real. But when it's accompanied with hyper lyricism, all could be forgiven. But then they also got some good backpack soul on that shit too that I'm sure a lot of hip-hop fans will appreciate. It kind of gives me that Ninth Wonder little brother vibe, you feel me? But overall, man, the beats are solid and refreshing, and it breathes a whole new life into its production, you feel me? And it definitely gives me high hopes of what's to come. And lastly, man, I do gotta say, I feel like the beats could have benefited from better mixing, man. It seemed like the low end was carved out of that motherfucker. I don't know what's going on. It sounds like it's something that was done in the mastering phase, you know what I mean? But at the same time, yo, you know, Primo never gave us the 808, but goddamn it, he gave us a nice thump, you feel me? It's not much a thump more as it is a doomp. You feel me? I don't know, man. I gotta put my car bass on maximum to get a nice little vibe from it, man. And it shouldn't be like that. Even though, you know, I'm not gonna complain too much, man. But next time, man, I need a little bit more, man. Less treble, more bass, or a nice balance of both, man. There should definitely be a nice little bump to that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Some boom to the bap. You feel me? And you know the next thing I was paying attention to was the lyrics, man. The lyrics are definitely top notch. I can't front. Royce is still riding off the fumes from that bar exam shit. Y'all understand that man hits level Super Saiyan 4 lyricism on bar exam, bruh. Just go back and revisit it. That's what extreme lyricism is, period. You know the shit reach maximum lyricism when the shit just be too much, bruh. Nigga be like, okay, we get it, nigga. But one thing I can say about Royce, man, he's definitely stepping up his song game, man. That's for real. He's finding a nice, satisfying balance between hyper lyricism and making that shit listenable, and also balancing it with being able to tell a story, or at least having a nice, decent concept. Every once in a while, though, his concepts and hooks can come across as a bit boring. Let's be real, though. Take Sunflower Seeds, for instance. The song had a pretty cool concept. However, the hook just cheapens the value by coming across as just so uninspired, man. I ain't gonna lie, every once in a while, it could be catchy, kind of in a corny way, you know what I'm saying? But then other times, I'll be like,
laid back, but I still spit the shell out the window. Still spit the shell out the window. Now that I'm living well.
Thought you had a cool, clever little hook, didn't you, bruh? I know that nigga was in the studio like, yo, I'm about to kill these niggas. Laid back, but I still spit the shell out the window. Nevertheless, he still does his thing on the mic, and his bars shouldn't disappoint any fans, man. But you know, man, I come from that Rock City, Death is Certain, Build and Destroy era with Royce, you know what I'm saying? So it really makes me proud as a fan, man, to see my man able to maintain what made him dope and elevate in some way. It's definitely safe to say that my man's at Eminem level lyricism, man. I don't care what nobody think. And to be real, if you really a Royce fan, you know that he was always kind of at that level, man. But he's just as nice, if not better. From now on, that nigga AKA is Melanin Manem, young. That's definitely... That melanin does give him an edge, though. I'm just speaking facts. And next, we got concepts. Let us not forget, man, that PRhyme is basically a concept based on the production of it. They pick a specific musician that Primo's gonna sample from, and then Royce the 5'9" and the chemistry handles the rest. Most of the songs on this album aren't super concept driven, but the true concept lies within the lyrics themselves as it's spread throughout the album. All throughout the album, you're hearing the thoughts of a grown-ass man who has his eyes on pop culture and hip-hop, and who's able to creatively express his issues with the shit. His sobriety is still a pretty common topic. And it's one that I quite frankly never get tired of hearing, man, because I understand that alcoholism is an everyday battle, man. So it's an everyday journey, man. So I always want to hear the progress and the new thoughts around it. But I know it's a battle that I'm sure his fans appreciate him talking about, because I'm sure that some of them are going through the same thing, man. Everybody got something. And lastly, we got replay value. The replay value on this album is fairly decent. I don't see myself playing this album for years to come. Maybe a couple times a year, you know, when I just want to go back and revisit. But there's definitely a nice amount of songs that's going to make their way into my permanent playlist, you know what I mean? This isn't the album that I would use to showcase either party's prime work. But I would use it as an example of true hip-hop longevity. In synopsis, PRhyme 2 is a hip-hop treat for hip-hop fans, young and old. And it both shows Royce and Primo trying new things, but still staying true to themselves. And that's something that I think is really important for the culture. My fave five are Respect My Gun with Rock Marciano, Rocket, Loved Ones with Rhapsody, Made Men with Big Crit and Denon, and Flirt with 2 Chainz. And I gotta admit, bruh, homeboy did his thing on this joint, man. Y'all can't fret, bruh. Y'all niggas can't fret. Y'all niggas boy hate him because he mainstream, but y'all can't fret, man, because he held his own on that joint. So stop hating, motherfuckers. I give this joint 8.2 out of 10. And it's a joint that I'm definitely going to get the physical copy for. Although I'm probably not going to have it in my CD changer for that long. Know what I mean? Is it better than the first one? That's a tough one, man, because it really depends on what you value the most, you know what I mean? If you value a more traditional rugged sound, then you're going to appreciate the first one more. But if you appreciate musical experimentation, you know, to a certain degree, and you appreciate people showcasing their growth and trying new things, then you're going to appreciate this new jump, you know what I mean? Never once thought you would have heard 2 Chainz on the album, on a Primo beat, and here we are. And I must say, everybody that did their job on the guest appearances delivered. Definitely on the first one, too. But like I said, man, it's just up to your personal taste. Yeah, man, it's your boy Willie Waze, man. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell icon next to the subscribe button so you can get all of the notifications and know when we drop that dope shit, man. What else can I say, bruh? I appreciate you fucking with me. Make sure you let us know what you think about this review, man. Make sure you follow our Instagram page and our Facebook page, man. You know what I mean? And we're going to keep bringing you that dope-ass content, man. LUMI Lifestyle, the #1 hip-hop channel for the realness.